Senator Duckworth, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning to our witnesses. I want to take this opportunity to reinforce the importance of our support for Ukraine. I attended a very important briefing on Ukraine with members of this committee yesterday, and I believe that it's vital that the United States continue to support the Ukrainian people against unprovoked Russian aggression. And I urge my colleagues to consider how important assistance to Ukraine is to our national security. Putin and the rest of the world are watching our actions, and any failure of this Congress to continue appropriating funds to support Ukraine's defenses will have consequences throughout the world, including right here at home. And if we fail to support Ukraine, Putin will learn the lesson that he can do whatever he wants. Others will learn that same lesson as well. That makes the world a less safe place, a less free place, and that impacts our economy and our national security. Our allies are providing immense support to Ukraine right now, but they are watching what we do closely. If we retreat early, we are jeopardizing the war effort and playing into Putin's hands. Ms. Abercrombie, if confirmed, your position would be responsible for working with other interagency partners to deliver vital defense capabilities to Ukraine. And Mr. Chollet, you would become the lead architect of DoD policy if confirmed. Can both of you speak to the importance of our assistance to Ukraine's war effort, as well as to United States national security?
Senator Duckworth, thank you for that important question. I think, as President Biden has said, we will support Ukraine for as long as it takes. And then from the Defense Department perspective, that certainly includes contracting and getting the equipment to Ukraine. So if confirmed, I would work very closely with interagency partners and across the department, importantly, to make sure as Congress has appropriated the dollars, we are getting things on contract as quickly as possible.
Thank you.
And Senator Duckworth, thank you for the question. Thanks for the time in your office a few weeks ago. Fully agree with my colleague here and fully agree with the thrust of your statement on the importance of Ukraine winning. It's a very simple proposition from my perspective. If Russia were to stop fighting, the war would end. If Ukraine were to stop fighting, Ukraine would end. And I think it is in our national security interest to continue to provide significant support to Ukraine.
Thank you. Earlier this year, I introduced a Southeast Asia Partnership Expansion Act and secured its inclusion into the Senate version of FY24 NDAA. My bill expands a military cybersecurity partnership with Southeast Asian partners that I created in 2020, based on the success of that program in Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam for cybersecurity training and partnership with the United States. I'm now seeking to include the Philippines and Malaysia into the program. Additionally, I recently led a CODEL to Indonesia, Thailand, and the Philippines to strengthen ties and reinforce support between Southeast Asia and the United States. During my trip, I spoke with U.S. service members advising partner militaries in the region and heard that there is a huge demand for additional training that could increase interoperability, like English language training. In fact, they mentioned the fact that they've had some of their candidates return from the U.S. military academy because they failed the English language test 3 times. And this was a very capable officer and yet could not pass the English language test. Mr. Chollet, how important are programs like English language training and basic cybersecurity training for interoperability? And what other ideas do you have to build our interoperability in the region?
Well, thank you, Senator Duckworth, and thanks for your championing the importance of Southeast Asia. As we've discussed many times, it's been a priority for the Biden administration. It's been a priority for me personally. In the last 2.5 years at the State Department, I've done around 8 trips to Southeast Asia because I believe those partners are critically important to our national security and our posture in the Indo-Pacific. I think we've made some very, very important strides in deepening those relationships, but I think there is much further to go, and I would, if confirmed, would look forward to work with you closely on some of the innovative ideas you and others have had on a way we can deepen those partnerships.
Thank you. So if confirmed, will you work with me to help secure funding, authorities, and resources for some of these ideas in future years?
Absolutely, Senator. I'd like to work with you on that. Thank you.
Yes, because I want to ensure that we are prioritizing and adequately resourcing programs that can build on these ties in Southeast Asia. If confirmed, Mr. Chollet, how do you plan on using your diplomatic experience gained during your time at the State Department to shape the DoD's policy on building relationships with partners in the Indo-Pacific region, specifically Southeast Asia?
Well, thank you, Senator Duckworth, for the question. As I said earlier, I believe that what I call defense diplomacy is a critical part of the job of Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, and if confirmed, I would seek to pursue that and work with my colleagues as well who are doing that. These relationships and partnerships are critically important to our security. They're a force multiplier for us. They are part of our enduring advantage, and they're at the heart of our national defense strategy. So whatever we can do to make those alliances and partnerships stronger is something that I'm going to set out to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.